opening, and that is what is called as a free vortex. Another example for a free vortex is if you have gone, if you have visited to any river and where there is water that is drawn from the river through an infiltration well. So the procedure is there will be a pipe which will be kept vertically at some level, and water is allowed to flow through that pipe into the well. Or directly also you can take the water into a pump. So when the flow takes place, the water will be entering into that pipe, which is vertical in direction, and at the top you can see a circular whirlpool. So that is a free vortex. So in the case of free vortex, the flow is generated just by gravity and due to the Coriolis force of the Earth's rotation. In the northern hemisphere, the direction of flow will be clockwise, and in the southern hemisphere, it will be anti-clockwise. So in all our sinks, you can see that the flow will be in the clockwise direction only. Now you come to the next type of vortex, that is the forced vortex. Now you take a jug or tumbler, pour either water or milk or coffee or any juice, and then with the help of a spoon, you just churn it and remove the spoon. You will see that there will be a rotation, a rotational flow. So that is a vortex, and that is not caused by gravity, but it is caused by the application of external force. So that is a forced vortex. Your grinders, your mixie jars where you pour anything liquid or juice and operate it. So they will be moving, the blade will be moving in the clockwise direction, and it will be automatically forced vortex is generated. So that is a forced vortex. Now we consider free vortex. We will consider the free vortex and all the natural flows uh, like a fluid being drained through an orifice at the base, the tropical hurricane, or the tornado are best examples of irrotational flows. See, when there is a cyclone, the winds will be moving. So the winds will be also moving in that circular fashion. So that is also a vortex. In the computation of the velocity distribution in an irrotational vortex, we consider that the pressure due to the centrifugal effect varies radially, and Bernoulli's equation is applicable across the streamlines. And the streamlines are radials. So we can consider a radial line. All these are radial lines. And we can consider, these are radial lines. And we can consider any streamline. We can calculate the centripetal acceleration of the fluid element, which should be balanced by the net force acting radially outwards. See, I can take a fluid element like this And in the radial direction, I can write the centripetal force, which will be moving, acting away from the center, and the force acting in the due to pressure. So that balance I can write. So we'll now consider this rotational vortex and proceed with the calculation of the velocities in the radial direction and the velocity in the tangential direction, and then we'll further derive the expressions for phi and psi for this case. Okay. So this we will be considering in the next week.